Hello everyone, this is GameBro64. I'm here with my fire wizard. His name is Blaze Firestone, and I'm going to be showing you my level 120 max crit and max power pip chance, max accuracy fire setup that I run for my fire. I figured I wanted to do something similar to what my storm has for his setup. Turns out I had to do a few different things because fire had a difficult time sustaining damage, plus also getting power pip chance, accuracy, and critical to be all maxed. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my overall setup, and then I'll move into my individual pieces of gear that I use. And then I can add in a deck setup towards the end of it. I run this guy with a very small deck, for the reason being he has critical and max power pip chance, so I can usually kill most minions and sometimes even bosses within like about a 3 to 4 round match, pretty much. And then you can also run with like a life or balance to give you more blades and more support and keep you up and keep you sustained on health and everything. My health is 5,700 flat. I mean, I can increase by jewels. I don't have maxed out jewels. And I don't have a damage mount. I need to get a damage mount. The Norwal is no longer available. They took that bundle off online, so 2 damage is no longer applied here. Unless you fish for it, you can get it there. I've heard you can get it through fishing. And then the Goldtra mount's 3 damage. So whenever I get that, you can just add 3 damage onto my mount. And then if you want to get a max stat fire pet, you can definitely do that and increase your dealer by 1 more point. But my overall setup, I'm going to be rocking 111 damage with 33 res, which isn't too bad. I did give up a lot of damage just to get max crit, so that's the only downside about getting max crit, is you tend to lose a lot of damage for fire. Storm does keep most of his damage. They'll keep like 120, sometimes 130 damage, while still obtaining max crit, so that's a benefit there. But for fire, you do lose a lot of damage. And the reason for I lost a lot of damage was also because I tried to keep my max accuracy. So you need to have 30%, because if you're going to use Bull, which is pretty much the main fire AoE hit, you need at least 30 accuracy. So I have 32. Then I move over just to show you I do have 100%. You need 795. I have 796, 1 point over. Little extra bit. Block you don't really care about because you're going max crit. 13 armor piercing. I did have to give up some armor piercing because I had to use some critical jewels, which I'll show you later in the individual pieces that I used them for. But yeah, I did have to use some crit jewels, so I did lose armor piercing, which is a sad thing. Stun resist, I don't have the 5%, I only have a 1% right now, so obviously your ideal, you want the 5% socketed into this. So when you use conviction, for things like Malistaire, you have 100% through TC Conviction. That gives you 95, and then the 5 on your gear. The incoming is 27, so when a healer goes to heal me, I have some incoming, so I gain a little bit more life. Pip conversion 0, shadow pip chance I have 6, and power pip chance I have 100%. Yeah, so max power pip chance, max accuracy for for my bowl, and then still maintaining 110 damage or higher, and then having your max critical are the essentials to this setup. You can have armor piercing. Really, if you are smart enough to use convert, you really don't need armor piercing unless they throw like an unwanted tower at last second. But even then, I go in with groups. We know what the setup is, we know what the cheats are, so we know everything ahead of time, so we pretty much plan everything out, and there's not really much surprise going on unless someone dies to like a critical hit for like 10,000 damage or something. But yeah, individual pieces. You got the hat. You're going to obviously run Malistaire. It's the best hat in game for fire. Some people run the Crocopatcher. I mean, if you want to run Crocopatcher, you can. I think you get 1 more damage, 1 more resist, and 1 more power pip or critical point. Power pip chance, you lose some, I believe, and armor piercing, you lose a little bit as well. But other than that, I mean, you can run it if you want. I prefer the Malistaire just because it's easier for me to get and less crowns I have to spend. The robe is obviously Malistaire. You can go Rattle Bones if you want for more damage, critical, and resist, I believe, just by 1 point each, pretty much. You lose accuracy, which is the downside, and I think you lose power pip chance as well. So your sustain does drop a little bit for more offensive. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. For the reason why I'm running the Rasputin shoes, which is this, instead of the Time Warden gear, which is, I think, Bort Shadowmane drops the fire boots. Yeah, reason why I'm running this over this is just because if you notice, the real only difference is accuracy to power pip chance. Oh, that's a cool blend. Power pip and accuracy combined is called Paccuracy. I don't know. But yeah, so the only difference is really if you prefer the accuracy or more power pip chance. It's your call. If you go more accuracy, you get more damage, more crit, so there's a bonus there, and more health. So, but I needed the power pip chance, so I get that 100%. Wand, I'm using this from the Polarian one. The only way you get this one is through the bundle. This is through the whale bundle, the Norwell. The whale is on my storm, but if you just want to add that in, add +2 more damage on this guy, pretty much that's your overall setup. Or if you get the Gulcher, you get 1 more damage. But yeah, this is the one from the Polarian bundle, and yeah, it gives you accuracy plus a lot of crit. If you want, you can run the guitar wand, get yourself even more crit, and then try to find something else so it doesn't use up all your crit. You can find more damage possibly, since you're going to be adding 29 extra crit. Or you can use this and try to run like a mimic ring and try to get max crit with it. Or this, whichever one you prefer. This one provides armor piercing, this one provides power pip chance, but I prefer this one because it already gives me accuracy to give me max accuracy, and then the Rasputin boots give me my power pip chance, and then this just gives me that, plus gives me the 180 crit, so I don't have to focus so much on a critical pet, and then I get an infal, which is pretty good, so I'm not always using TC infal. Dagger, obviously this is where my pierce jewels, I lose them to get my crit jewels. I don't have the 10 power pip jewel socketed in, I only have 9, but that's perfectly fine, I still have max. Yeah, this is just the Darkmoor first fight, you get this. Then you have this from Morganth. I was running this beforehand, but I realized that I could lose 5 crit points and still maintain max crit, and I like the Morganth because of the blade. I think if you can sustain max crit while having Morganth, go for it, because the blade is definitely better than the bubble. So whichever one you prefer, really. I prefer the Morganth one just because the blade more offensive. You do lose armor piercing, resist, and 5 crit, but it's perfectly fine. This is the new one. This is from the Mimic. I was running this before, just more damage and stuff like that by 1, and it also gives you your power pip chance. So if you're able to sustain like max crit and stuff like that, and you need power pip chance, you can run the Plant Ring, which is the 12 universal resist to the right, or you can just run the Mimic. And the Mimic will give you pretty much what the plant is giving you in damage. Doesn't give you power pip chance, but it does give you an insane amount of critical, and then also gives you 3 sockets. So there's that. The pet, the reason why I'm running the Mimic Ring is because I'm not able to get a quad critical pet. If I was able to get a quad crit pet, then I would get it. I would have it, and I can run the Plant Ring and have a little bit more damage by like 112, 1 more point pretty much. But instead I figured out a way that I was able to get max accuracy and max power pip chance while having this pet, and obviously you see down at the bottom I socketed in 5 accuracy, so there's my way of getting it. If you have sniper, go ahead and do sniper. Really, most people would take out the socket, try to find some other somewhere else to put in the accuracy. But yeah, I ran this just because a friend recommended it to me, and I never noticed. I was like, I totally forgot I could run accuracy in my pet. Sure enough, that gave me my max accuracy. Yeah, add 3 damage from the Gulcher or add 2 damage from the Whale to the overall stats if you prefer. I have nothing right now because the RNG of pulling it through the Gulcher pack is just ridiculous, and then the bundle's no longer there, so I'm out of luck there. But if you add 2 or 3 more damage there, and then if you add max that pet, you can have a 10 dealer, so you have 1 more point there as well to enhance your setup just a little bit further than mine. And then to leave off, we have the Rasputin deck, which has more power pip chance in it, to give me that 100%. Because the reason why I'm running jewels for this and this for power pip chance is because you have no power pip chance here. Now, if you compare it to this one, you're losing 17 power pip chance. So you obviously need some there and some there to sustain, because the ring has no power pip chance. Like this even has 13, this has 17, this has 0. So if you want to keep your max power pip chance while also obtaining max crit, high damage, and max accuracy, you're going to need jewels for your deck and for your dagger. And that's pretty much the overall setup. The deck itself, I like to run 3 enchants for Dragon, Meteor, and Bowl. As you see, Bowl has 70% accuracy, so you need 30%, whereas everything else has 75, so you only need 25%. If you don't plan on using Bowl or anything like that, you don't need 30%, you can run 25, and that can definitely help you out getting more damage in the pet. Blades, I only run my single blades because I usually run with a balance or a death that usually supports, so they use my tri-blades. And the purpose of using single blades is they use no pips. So I mean, you're building pips and you have max power pip chance, so next turn you're definitely gaining a power pip. And then you're also building damage because you have your single blades. So they require no pips, so you're building peps, plus you're also building overall damage thanks to the blades, so you can hit quicker. And then anyone can throw tri-blades. No one can throw fire single blades unless they're TC or pet or amulet. So I mean, by using your single blades, no one else can use those, and other people can use your tri-blades, so it's like a team. It works with a team a little bit. You got the one more Ganth. I don't run 2 because I don't want to feel like, did I already throw it, did I not throw it, etc. And then if I need be, I can always run a reshuffle or 2 in case I need to reshuffle myself. Usually my team carries that, but once in a while, if they don't carry it, I'll just carry it 1 if I feel like I need it. But most of the time, this usually does 3 blades, and then a hit card usually does an insane amount of damage. I do have a bubble in case I want more damage. This is pretty much my individual fire blade, but it lasts for all my fire hits until someone changes my bubble. I usually run this in case I'm running with a life wizard. They didn't throw in Sanctuary and the enemy throws in Doom. I can counter out the Doom and still sustain real good heals, and also do a damage increase for my spells. I run Bowl because Bowl is really good. Yeah, I could run Dragon, but I just prefer Bowl in case I already use my Bowl and I want to use Bowl again instead of Dragon. I'll use a harder hit, which is Bowl. I run this for extra accuracy and armor piercing, which is really good because I gave up my armor piercing so I can get crit, and so my infoul definitely helps out there. And then also I have infoul on my wand in case I ever feel like using that over the TCs, so I can always use the infouls over the TCs if I prefer. And then cleanse charms in case an Infreet hits you, or they keep throwing like 45 weaknesses for Virulent Plague, or a bad juju pops on you, or whatever the case may be, maybe a dispel. I always carry cleanse just because it's your key of getting out of like a tough situation. It's just cleanse yourself in case you have a weakness or a debuff or an accuracy. Just cleanse yourself. But yeah, that's my deck. That's my TC. Really, I only run about 2 rows. 2 rows at maximum, maybe 3 if I need be, but 2 rows is all you need if you run reshuffle. That's the importance about reshuffle. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my overall deck gear setup. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe.